Very nice. Very good. What else? Why does he love mountains so much? Sit down. Yes. And why does he love mountains so much?
Because he came to the mountains and then he was away from the mountains together.
Yes, so he didn't feel happy when he was away from the mountains. Okay, yes, Raghuveer also raised his hand. Raghuveer, would like to add something? To need what? I can't hear you. To show that. So he loves adventure. Okay, yes, sit down. Now, what are the lessons that we need to learn from the mountain? So you've climbed the highest peak, right? So what do you think that nature teaches you? We discussed a little bit of it yesterday, right? So what are the lessons that we learn from nature? To be humble. How do the mountains teach us to be humble? How do the mountains teach us to be humble? Yes. How do they teach us to be humble? Yes, Adhika? Yes. That's how they teach us to be humble, because they teach us our communion with God, is it? To never give up. Okay, Paul is saying that. Yes. Yes, man is nothing when compared to nature. Isn't it how vast and how strong nature is? Right? So that is the things that we learn. So can we learn this only when we climb mountains? No, it is not here. So everywhere around us, so the beauty of nature, when we see it teaches us something. So when we have done something difficult, right? Do you think, yes, those two over there, you're fighting over there in the corner, why don't you come over here? Why doesn't one of you shift to another bench? Does we shift this side or come here? Come on, good boy. Come. Let me sit. Right. So what is it that we learn? So you're climbing mountains, or you've gone scuba diving, or yes, you wanted to trek through the rainforests, right? There are so many incidents happening, and you learn so many experiences. What is it one lesson that we learn and that we should remember? That yes, nature is definitely much stronger than us. We should appreciate the life that we have. Yes, and we should also realize that even though we consider ourselves to be so powerful, nature is at the end more. Okay, so if we have climbed one mountain peak, that does not mean that we have done everything difficult in this field. Yes, that means there are more challenges left. Yes, every mountain has its own challenges, and Remember is working very hard. I like it. Yes, that's nice. Good. Yeah. Okay, fine. So we're going to look at the screen. We're going to just try to finish the chapter. Let's see. So what about climbing mountains, or you want to swim across a river here? Why can't you give up in between? Why can't you give up in between? Yes? To complete our task or the mission that you have set out on, right? What will happen if you don't complete it? Sad. You feel sad, discouraged. What else? Your life is at stake, right? You'll drown if you stop swimming. Is it? Right? And you freeze if you stop climbing. Is it? Yes? Okay. Right. Of course it is there, you know, like once you have started, you should complete. If you've taken up something as a challenge, make sure that you finish it, you reach the end. And otherwise, yes, you left it here. Even then, like you feel like, okay, now I can't go any further. You have to go back. You have to go back. Isn't it? You are going to walk. You might have to swim back. So why not move forward instead of going backward? Right? So let's complete that task that we have undertaken. Okay, yes. So once again here, he has not really found the answer to why he decided to climb Mount Everest. And was it just to prove how strong he was? Or yes, so there are so many lessons learned later. Let's come to this one. The physical conquest of a mountain, you're reading here? Or have you read this? Reading this one? Okay. The physical conquest of a mountain is only one part of the achievement. So physically, yes, I reached over there at the top. That is just one part. Physical conquest. You climbed hard, you worked very hard, you trained very hard. There is more to it than that. It is followed by a sense of happiness that you get. The sense of achievement that you get. Okay? Completion. There is the satisfaction of a deep urge to rise above one's surroundings. It is the eternal love for adventure in man. So yes, of course, that streak of adventure is there. That quality of adventure is there. So it might not be in me, it might not be in you. You might not have discovered your adventure streak yet. Might in the later years as you grow, right? So that is why man poses these challenges for himself. Right? So of course he knows that he cannot conquer nature, but he wants to know that is he strong enough to rise up to that challenge, right? So that is why that love, what is eternal? What does eternal mean? Eternal. Yes? Never ending, always. Eternal love for adventure. What about nature? Is it eternal? Nature is eternal? Yes. Yes. What else is eternal? Yes, the universe. Okay. Right. What could be the opposite of eternal? What could be the opposite of eternal? External? No. Eternal is not eternal. What is the opposite of eternal? Eternal is forever, always. Something for a short time. What can we call something that is short? Life is short. Okay, very nice. Yes, what can we call that? Short-lived. Can we say it's temporary? Yes, right. As again, something that is always. So, right. Yes. So, eternal nature is eternal. That sense of adventure in man is eternal. Right? So many things around us, the gifts of nature, the beauty of nature, everything is there, eternal. Is man eternal? No, man is not eternal. Right? The experience is not merely physical, it is emotional, it is spiritual. So climbing the mountain, yes, he said how it is emotional, it is spiritual. How is it spiritual for him? Because he says that he connects with the mountain. It's like as if he's there getting closer to God, right? So yes, it is emotional, teaching us lessons here, right? So consider a typical climb towards the summit on the last height. Now you are, imagine yourself, you're climbing a mountain. You're about to reach the peak. Okay? You are sharing a rope with another climber. Just there, this is how they climb. Okay, so they tie themselves and there's a rope and everyone moves together. Teamwork. You're sharing a rope with another climber. You firm in. He cuts the step in the hard ice. Then he belays and you inch your way up. Right? So you are there. How do you think it's going to help you climb? How do you like people there? Pulling up the rope? And yes, step by step, the person in front of you is going to help you. You're going to help the person next. So one by one, everybody is going to keep on moving forward. The climb is grim. Okay, very serious. Grim, what is grim? The climb is grim. Serious, right? It's difficult, right? Okay. You strain every nerve as you take every step. Strain every nerve. You take so much of stress. It's not easy. Famous climbers have left because of the help given by others. So they don't take the credit themselves. They give credit to the people who help them, right? You think that's the right thing to do? Yes. They have also recorded how they needed just that help. What? Someone to pull them forward so that they could take that one last step and reach the top. Okay? Else they might have given up. Absolutely. You need someone who's going to motivate you on the way. You need someone who's going to be there helping you. Right? So you curse yourself for having let yourself in for this. Sorry, breathing is difficult. You curse yourself for having let yourself in for this. Of course, on the mountains, how difficult it is to breathe. So, like, what about you after you run for 5 minutes? Running for 5 minutes is a big task. You can't. What happens after the first minute? After the second minute? Third minute? Your breathing gets faster, and what about you? You feel like, oh my God, my lungs are going to burst. Isn't it? Here also, so mountain, high, you can say altitude, we talk about the atmospheric pressure there and all things there, although they have all the equipment there. We're talking about 1965 here, isn't it? Right? So might not be such sophisticated equipment as today. You wonder why you undertook the ascent. What is ascent? Climb. What do you think is the opposite of ascent? Descent. Yes, descent. So remember it from your ascending order and descending order, isn't it? There are moments when you feel like going back. It would be sheer relief to go down instead of up. It's always, yes, you feel, let's go back. I can't walk any further. I'm going back. There comes a moment or not, must be. But almost at once, you snap out of that mood. Snap out of that mood, you come out of that. You change your thought. There is something in you that does not let you give up the struggle and you go on. Your companion keeps up with you. Just another 50 feet or 100 maybe. You ask yourself, is there no end? You look at your companion and he looks at you. You draw inspiration from each other. And then without being first being aware of it, you are at the summit. So it is there. You go for, like a trek or a walk or a climb, or even if you go for a religious pilgrimage. What happens there? So it feels difficult, but you have your family with you. They keep on inspiring you. They keep on telling you move forward, and without realizing what happens, you reach the top, isn't it? Right? Or you reach your destination. Looking down from the summit, you tell yourself that it was worthwhile. When you reach the top, do you remember all your problems or you forget them? Okay, you're so happy. Wow, I did it, isn't it? Right. Other silvery peaks appear through the clouds. You can see the other peaks. What do you think looking at those peaks? No way, not at the moment. Right? I don't want to look at you. If you are lucky, the sun may be on them. The surrounding peaks look like a jeweled necklace around the neck of your summit. Beautiful, isn't it? Right? So the sunlight falling on the snow-covered peaks and looking like these pearls in a necklace. And your peak at the center, another around them. The boys over there talking. This one and that one. So below you see vast valleys sloping into the distance. It is an ennobling, enriching experience to just look down from the summit of a mountain. You bow down and make your obeisance to whichever god you worship. And generally, yes, the mountaineers at the top of the summit, generally they do say their prayers and thank whichever god they believe in. And they leave some kind of, token of thanks also. Some people type flags, some people have left maybe photographs or something or the other as their gratitude. I left on Everest a picture of Guru Nanak. See, Rawat left a picture of Goddess Buddha. Dorji left a relic of the Buddha. Okay, and so everyone there. Edmund Hillary had buried a cross under a cairn of a heap of rocks and stones in the snow. These are not symbols of conquest but of reverence. Edmund Hillary was first person to climb, and he was with Tenzing Sherpa. Yes. What? Tenzing? Yes, so he was the Sherpa there. This is the tribes or the local people there, right? So they've all left some token of. Is it showing their supremacy or is it gratitude? Gratitude, reverence, right? So thank God. Okay, they're thanking the Almighty. The experience of having climbed to the summit changes it completely. There is another summit. Now he's come to the summit. So many pages he's talked about the summit, and we're waiting for that summit now. See here the author and food orgy on the summit of Mount Everest. Look at their clothes that they're wearing. Look at the bag that they have to carry. Right? See on the left. Can you see the picture? Yes. So it's not easy, in such a heavy gear that you have to walk. There's another summit. It is within yourself. It is in your mind. Each man carries within himself his own mountain peak. Some have tiny peaks. Some have a big Mount Everest inside the mountain. Right? So it depends on you. The kind of peak that you have created. He must climb it to reach to a fuller knowledge of himself. So we must climb. That means you have to conquer those peaks to know about ourselves. Right? It is about understanding ourselves. So this is on a very emotional level. This is on a very spiritual level. That we need to understand ourselves. Right? So we have to conquer our peaks. Peaks which make us selfish. Peaks which make us hate others. Peaks which make us angry, which have bitterness towards others. So we need to conquer all those. Okay? Right? He must climb it to reach a fuller knowledge of himself. It is fearful and unscalable. It cannot be climbed by anyone else. Who can climb it? I'm going to climb my peak. You will climb. No. Isn't it? So we have to conquer our own. Yes? What? Meaning of? Fear. Meaning is not clear. Okay, right? Fine. What does he mean here? That see the mountain peak there right in front of you, can see the sails. You have an idea how high it is, right? So you go prepared to climb. But now he's making another comparison, an analogy, you can say, or it is a comparison in simpler words. That he says, just like that big peak outside, there is a peak inside us, right? And we have to conquer that peak to make ourselves realize the true meaning of life, of ourselves, of our existence. Do you think it's an easy thing to do? No, it's not. Can everyone do that? No, we cannot. Should we try to do it? Yes, we should. What will happen when we conquer our own peak? We will become a better person. That is why he says it's unscalable. It's not easy to climb. But who can do that? Only I can do that. Or only you can do that. Right? So we have to climb our own peaks. Is it clear? Yes. Okay. The physical act of climbing to the summit of a mountain outside is akin to the act of climbing the mountain within. You're going to face problems. You might want to give up. Right? So who is going to be your companion? Who's going to tell you, keep on moving? You. Your mind is going to tell you. Right? Okay? The all the climbs are the same. What happens when you, what are the feelings when you climb the mountain? Wow, I did it. Isn't it relief? Yes, that sense of achievement. And here also, yes, you were feeling so angry, you know, at your friend. You really wanted to yell and shout, but you controlled yourself. Yeah, you didn't say anything at all. And it just took 2 seconds, 3 seconds for that anger to subside. But in those 2, 3, 4, 5 seconds, what did you do? You climbed the peak. You controlled yourself. Yes, right? And yeah, what were the consequences of that? Did you lose a friend? No, you did not lose a friend. Did you become a bad person? Right? So these little peaks, it's not an okay, one day in my life I'll think about it and I'll do that. It's every day we practice. Not once. And so there come challenges every day. A mountain peak you might climb once in a lifetime. We might not. But the peak within we face many times. Okay? Right? That little moment, yeah, should I ask my friend the answer or no? Yes or no? Look at the side, you know, are you wishing your friend should look here? Right? Or yes, you have that temptation. Answer it. Isn't it? So we are climbing those peaks every day. We're conquering those peaks. We need to conquer. Whether the mountain you climb is physical or emotional and spiritual, the climb will certainly change. Definitely it's going to change. So you have your little mountains. I have a bigger mountain to climb, isn't it? Because I have much more experience than you all. So I made a bigger mountain, right? So I have to climb that. It's going to be more difficult, right? Okay, fine. So the climbing teaches you much about the world and about yourself. Definitely, right? Climbing a mountain, it teaches that, yes, there are so many challenges in this world. And the mountain within, it teaches us there are challenges and we also, yeah, do you need a bed or something? Can you sit properly? I venture to think that my experience as an Everester, what do you think of this word, Everester? Who has climbed the Everest, right? Okay, yeah. Is this a nice term? Yeah. Not everybody can come to me. Yes. Has provided me with the inspiration to face life's ordeals resolutely. What are the ordeals? The troubles that we come across, the difficult times that we have come across. Okay? To face the life's ordeals resolutely with determination. Climbing the mountain was a worthwhile experience. The conquest of the internal summit is equally worthwhile. The internal summits are perhaps higher than. So can you call yourself an Everester? When are you going to call yourself an Everester? Where are peaks which are within us? Where do you think these peaks are? Your life goals are the peaks. Oh my God, Abraham, you've changed the meaning of the chapter. Yes, Prabhu, tell me. What is the summit within?
Imaginary peace.
Where is that peak? In our mind. Okay, so the conflicts that we have in our mind, the problems that we have in our mind. Okay, but problem होता भी नहीं है, हमें तब भी हम लोग create कर लेते हैं. We love overthinking and creating problems when there are none. What if? And the if doesn't happen, but we spend a sleepless night thinking about it. Isn't it right? Yes, sit down. So is there any age when we can come to these summits? No. So right, so he has made a beautiful comparison of climbing the physical peak and climbing the peak that is in our mind. Do you think the purpose of both the climbs is same in a way? Yes, both of them to make us a better person, to make us realize the challenges of life. Yes, and to accept that there are so many things I need to do. Right? Yes. Okay, any problem here in this chapter? Any doubts? Any questions? Anyone? Any doubts? Yes? No doubts? So I should ask question. Yeah? Okay, let's just go through the comprehension check. Come on, fast. Standing on the Everest, the writer was, you will just raise your hand and give me the answer. Was he overjoyed? Very happy? Sad? Why would he feel sad? Was he jubilant and sad? What does jubilant mean? Happy, victorious. Okay, yes. Jubilant and sad. Why was he sad? Khatam ho gaya Mount Everest? Oh my God! I thought it would have been. So he is wondering now, what am I going to climb next? Right? Will I find the other mountain peak as challenging? Isn't it? That is why he is sad. Should he have felt sad? Would you have felt sad? No, I would have been here on top of the world. Isn't it literally on top of the world? Right? Okay. Emotion that gripped him was one of. Think and give me the answer. Victory over hurdles, humility and a sense of smallness, greatness and self-importance, and the joy of discovery. What is it? Humility and a sense of smallness. Humility, humbleness, smallness. Look at this peak. Look at the beauty of nature. I am so insignificant, isn't it? The summit of the mind. Now let me think, and you better remember this. And you are not even looking at your book. Do you have the book or not? Then look at it. Because the summit within here, that is what the whole chapter is about. Although he's talking about his physical conquest, but he is laying equal emphasis on conquering our mind also. The problems in our mind, the difficulties in our mind. What does it refer to? Great intellectual achievements, so there can be more answers. Process of, go through them quietly, maturing mentally and spiritually, overcoming personal ambition for common welfare, living in the world of thought and imagination, the triumph of mind of worldly pleasures, knowledge of oneness. So there are more than one answer. Last, only last. Correct the items not relevant. Look at the last line. Fourth one, yes. What else? Great intellectual achievements. What does that mean? Summit of the mind. Is it great intellectual achievements? Yes. Is it right or is it wrong? No, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So how does ma'am decide what is it no or yes? Ma'am, आप सोचते रहो. Yes or yes? First is right or wrong? Wrong. Correct. How many wrong answers are there? Two. First one is wrong. Yes. So it's not about intellectual achievements. Okay. It is not about their talking about their great theories and discoveries or scientific inventions. No. Then we have the fourth one. Yes. So living in the world of thought and imagination. No, we should live in the reality. So if you're living in thought and imagination, are you facing the reality of life? No, we're not. Okay. So have you got the answers? Yeah. Correct. Okay. So what are the three qualities that played a major role in the Yes, right. Yeah. Tell me. What is Endurance, willpower, and persistence. Is it? Okay. Next one over there, last boy in the corner. Stand up, please. What's your name? Nikhil. Why is adventure, which is risky, also pleasurable? Why? Yes, students at home, are you listening? Do you have the answers? Anybody wants to give the answer? Please raise your hand. So why is it also pleasurable? Yes, Jen?
Because when we finish our adventure, we feel that we are so small, but also feel happy that we have conquered what we set our adventure.
Yes. So we feel, of course, adventure is risky, but it is also there. You feel a sense of what? You've done something, a sense of achievement. Okay. And please go through these questions, write down the answers. You can write them on the book if you want to. We'll do them in the book. I'll tell you which answers to do.
I'm done.